The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. What if I told you that in just 1 week, you could shift your mindset, elevate your potential, and reshape the course of your life? Today we will explore time-tested wisdom blended with practical daily techniques to supercharge your personal growth journey. Imagine breaking free from old patterns that have held you back and replacing them with fresh, empowering habits. Drawing inspiration from the Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, this video distills centuries of profound insight into a powerful blueprint for change. You'll discover how to cultivate inner strength, embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth, and tap into unshakable self-confidence. And the best part? This entire transformation is accessible to anyone willing to take action, regardless of their starting point. So, whether you're feeling stuck in your career, seeking more meaningful relationships, or simply looking to become the best version of yourself, this video is for you. Stick around until the end, because that's where the true magic lies. Your 7-day reinvention starts now. Are you ready to begin? Let's do this. Define your vision and purpose. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of direction, knowing exactly what you want from life and, more importantly, why you want it. That's the power of having a clear vision and purpose. Without them, it's like wandering through life with no map, no guide, just moving from one day to the next, unsure of where you're headed or how to get there. If you want to reinvent yourself in the next 7 days, this is where you start. It all begins with defining your vision and purpose. Your vision is the big picture. It's your ideal future, the life you're working towards. Your purpose, on the other hand, is the deeper why behind everything you do. It's what gives your life meaning, even when the going gets tough. Together, they form the foundation upon which you'll build the new you. Why is this so important? It's simple. Without a clear sense of where you're going, how can you possibly know how to get there? You might find yourself distracted by small, fleeting pleasures or chasing after things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Defining your vision and purpose sets your compass. It provides clarity, motivation, and focus. And when you know exactly what you want out of life and why you want it, every decision becomes easier. Imagine each choice as a fork in the road. When you have a vision and purpose, it's like having a map that tells you which road leads to your destination. Otherwise, you're just guessing, hoping you'll stumble upon something great. The power of Stoic wisdom. The Stoics, men like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, understood the profound importance of having purpose. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that when you know your purpose, even obstacles become stepping stones. Every challenge you face is not something that holds you back, but something that propels you forward. The Stoics also emphasized the power of self-control and discipline. When you define your vision and purpose, you're essentially setting a standard for yourself, one that holds you accountable. It's no longer about motivation alone. It's about your inner resolve to align your daily actions with your long-term vision. How do you define your vision and purpose? Let's break it down, step by step. You don't need to figure it all out at once. Take it slow, and give yourself permission to explore. Start with clarity. What do you want your life to look like in the next year, 5 years, or even 10? Think about the end of your journey, not just the path. Imagine how it would feel to wake up every day living in alignment with your values and your deepest desires. What would your day-to-day life look like? What kind of person would you be? Visualize that person. What habits, thoughts, and actions would define them? Write it down. You don't have to be perfect, just clear. Identify your why. Your purpose is the core reason behind everything. Why do you want to reinvent yourself? What drives you? Is it to become the best version of yourself? Is it to make a greater impact in the world? Is it to find peace and happiness? Take some time to reflect on what deeply matters to you. This isn't about what you think you should do or what others expect of you. It's about understanding your own desires, dreams, and values. Tap into that inner truth. Set specific, actionable goals. Once you have a clear vision and purpose, it's time to break them down into smaller, actionable goals. These should be realistic, achievable, and most importantly, aligned with your vision. Remember, goals are like the road signs guiding you towards your destination. Without them, you'll be wandering aimlessly. Here's a practical exercise. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do every day that will bring me closer to my vision? Start with small, manageable tasks, something that will push you in the right direction, even if it's just a small step. Embrace the process. Reinventing yourself is not an overnight thing. It's a process, a journey. Don't expect instant results. Focus on the consistency of your efforts, not the immediate outcome. As Seneca wisely put it, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Every moment is an opportunity to align yourself more closely with your vision. Review and adjust. Every few days, check in with yourself. Are you moving closer to your vision? Are your actions reflecting your purpose? If you're feeling stuck or disconnected, take a moment to reflect and adjust. Your vision and purpose might evolve over time, and that's okay. What matters is that you stay true to your core and continue to grow. A daily practice for reinvention. To help you stay grounded and focused, incorporate this simple practice into your daily routine. Morning reflection. Each morning, take 5 to 10 minutes to reflect on your vision and purpose. Write down one thing you'll do that day that moves you closer to your goals. It could be something as simple as reading for 20 minutes or reaching out to someone you admire. The key is to take action. Evening review. Before bed, reflect on your day. Did you act in line with your vision? What did you learn? This will keep you on track and ensure that every day is a step toward transformation. As you start this journey, remember, reinvention is not about perfection, it's about progress. Don't get discouraged if things don't always go according to plan. As the Stoics teach us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In the same way, true success lies not in how fast you reach your destination, but in how consistently you move toward it. So, today, take a moment to define your vision and purpose. Write it down. Feel the power of clarity in your bones. Then, take the first small step. The next 7 days are the beginning of your transformation. Embrace them, and let them lead you to the life you're meant to live. Identify limiting beliefs. Take a deep breath. Let's start by acknowledging something important. The biggest barrier standing between you and your true potential isn't the world around you. It's the story you tell yourself. The limits you believe exist are often nothing more than mental walls you've built. But here's the good news, those walls? They can come down, and it all starts with identifying your limiting beliefs. You see, limiting beliefs are the silent forces that hold you back. They whisper things like, "I'm not good enough," or "It's too late for me to change." These beliefs shape the way you see yourself, the world, and your possibilities. They dictate what you believe you can and cannot do. The problem is, most of the time, you don't even realize you're holding onto them. But you can change that. You can break free from these invisible chains and start living the life you deserve. Recognizing the lies you're telling yourself. The first step is simple. Become aware of the stories you're telling yourself. You might be saying things like, "I'm not a confident person, I always fail," or "Success isn't for people like me." But here's where things get interesting. These are not facts. These are narratives you've been carrying around, often from years ago, sometimes even from childhood. They have no more power over you than you give them. To start challenging these beliefs, begin paying close attention to your thoughts. Notice when you start thinking negatively about yourself, especially when you're faced with a challenge. Ask yourself, is this true? Where is the evidence to support this thought? More often than not, the evidence is shaky, if it exists at all. Your beliefs might feel true because they've been reinforced by your past experiences, but your past doesn't have to dictate your future. Stoic wisdom: control what you can. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." That's the key right there. You can't always control the events in your life, but you can control the way you respond to them. Those limiting beliefs are just reactions to external events, but you have the power to change the way you see them. Think about it for a moment. You're holding onto beliefs that were formed by past experiences. But what if you took a moment to realize that those beliefs no longer serve you? What if you could rewrite the script? What if you could see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth? In doing so, you break the chains that hold you back and step into your own power. Practical exercise: uncover your limiting beliefs. Now, let's put this into action. Grab a piece of paper or your phone and start writing down the beliefs that come to mind. Start with ones like, "I'm not capable of," or "I can't do," and just let it flow. Write freely without judgment. If you catch yourself thinking, "That's silly," or "That doesn't matter," stop for a moment and dig deeper. These are the exact beliefs you need to face head-on. Once you have your list, go through each one and ask yourself these questions. Is this belief based on evidence or assumption? Who or what taught me to believe this? Does this belief serve me, or is it holding me back? Be honest with yourself. When you begin to question these limiting beliefs, you'll see them for what they are: just stories you've accepted as truth. Breaking the chains, rewriting your beliefs. Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, it's time to take action and rewrite them. This isn't about simply swapping out negative thoughts for positive ones. That's surface level. What you need is to deeply challenge the foundation of these beliefs and replace them with new, empowering truths. Let's take an example. If you've been holding onto the belief, "I'm not capable of success," the new belief should be, "I am capable of success, and every step I take moves me closer to it." It's not about magically becoming something you're not. It's about recognizing that you've been holding yourself back and making the decision to stop doing that. As you begin to challenge these beliefs, you'll notice that things start to shift. The doubts that used to haunt you will lose their grip. When you stop feeding limiting beliefs, they die off. And in their place, you begin to cultivate new beliefs, beliefs that are aligned with who you truly are and who you are becoming. Small action leads to big change. The process of shifting your mindset and breaking free from limiting beliefs isn't an overnight transformation. It's a gradual process that happens every time you catch yourself thinking small and choose to think big instead. Every time you face a fear and choose action over inaction, you're rewiring your brain. Remember, you don't need to make huge leaps to see progress. The Stoics remind us that the obstacle is the way. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger and closer to the person you want to become. So, every time you confront a limiting belief and choose a more empowering thought, you're taking a step forward on the path of transformation. In conclusion, it's your life to redefine. Your limiting beliefs don't define you, they only control you if you allow them to. You have the power to change your narrative and rewrite the story of your life. Take a moment today to reflect on the beliefs that have been holding you back, and then take the first step toward dismantling them. The journey of self-transformation starts with this simple act: challenging the old story and replacing it with a new one, a story that aligns with your true potential. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So make today the day you start cultivating thoughts that empower you to break free and reinvent yourself. Practice daily self-reflection. If you're serious about reinventing yourself in just 7 days, Then let's talk about something that might seem simple but is truly transformative: daily self-reflection. It's not just about glancing at your day at the end and thinking, "Yeah, that went well." It's about going deeper. It's about truly understanding who you are, and where you want to go. This practice can help you tap into a level of clarity and wisdom that will keep you on track, no matter how chaotic life gets. Self-reflection is your personal mirror to the soul. It's how you check in with yourself, beyond the surface, and it's how you align your daily actions with your bigger vision. The Stoics, those ancient masters of mental fortitude, understood the power of reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Think about that for a second. Your inner world shapes your outer world. What you think about, what you focus on, how you process your day, these things create the person you're becoming. So, if you want to reinvent yourself, you need to master the art of reflection. Why self-reflection? When you reflect on your day, you're not just reviewing what happened. You're actively looking for lessons, insights, and opportunities for growth. By reflecting, you uncover patterns, those little behaviors and reactions that you've been blind to. You realize what works for you, what doesn't, and where you might be holding yourself back. It's like having a conversation with yourself, but a deep and honest one. Self-reflection is essential for self-awareness, and without self-awareness, transformation is nearly impossible. You need to know what's working in your life and what isn't. This process allows you to adjust course in real time instead of drifting aimlessly or repeating the same mistakes over and over. It's like having a navigation system for your life. You wouldn't get in a car without a map or GPS, so why would you go through life without the self-awareness that reflection brings? How to get started with self-reflection. Here's the thing, self-reflection is easy to dismiss, but it's incredibly powerful when done regularly. Start by carving out a few minutes each day. Yes, you're busy, but self-reflection doesn't take long. Start small, just 5 to 10 minutes at the end of your day. You'll be amazed at what you can uncover in that short time. Here's a simple exercise you can try. Find a quiet space. It doesn't need to be some grand setting. Just somewhere you can sit without distractions. If you have a journal, great. If not, a blank page will do. Ask yourself key questions. The questions are simple, but they'll help you dig deep. What did I do today that I'm proud of? What challenged me today? How did I respond to that challenge? Did I live in alignment with my values today? If not, why? What did I learn today? Even if it was a small lesson, what can I apply tomorrow? Write it down. Don't just think about the answers, write them out. Putting your thoughts on paper solidifies them and makes them real. Don't worry about perfect grammar or sentence structure. Just let it flow. End with gratitude. Finish your reflection with something you're grateful for. Gratitude is like a reset button. It helps you focus on the positives instead of dwelling on what went wrong. The more consistent you are with this practice, the more you'll begin to see patterns in your thoughts, actions, and emotions. You'll begin to notice what holds you back and what pushes you forward. And that's when the real change happens. You become proactive, not reactive. You begin to shape your day rather than letting the day shape you. The power of journaling. If you're looking for an added layer to your self-reflection, consider journaling. Writing down your thoughts isn't just a mental exercise, it's an emotional and spiritual one. It helps you process your feelings, clear your mind, and track your progress. Just like Marcus Aurelius did in his Meditations, use your journal as a place for honest, unfiltered reflection. Try this. At the start of each week, write down your intentions. What do you want to focus on? What behaviors or habits do you want to build or break? At the end of the week, revisit your journal. Reflect on what went well, what didn't, and adjust your course. This cycle of planning, action, and reflection is what will guide you toward your transformation. Stay committed and trust the process. Self-reflection isn't about being hard on yourself, it's about getting clear on who you are and who you want to become. You're not looking for perfection, and you're certainly not going to fix everything overnight. The key is consistency. Even when life gets busy or you feel like you're not making progress, stay committed to the process. Remember, as the Stoics remind us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, even your struggles are part of the process. By practicing daily self-reflection, you begin to take ownership of your life. You start to see that change is in your hands, that transformation is a daily choice, and that every day is an opportunity to grow. So, what are you waiting for? Grab a journal, carve out some quiet time, and start reflecting. The you of tomorrow will thank you. Cultivate discipline and consistency. Imagine waking up every day knowing exactly what you need to do and doing it, without hesitation, without excuses. That's the power of discipline and consistency. If you're serious about reinventing yourself in just 7 days, these two elements will become your best friends. Discipline isn't about being rigid or punishing yourself, it's about mastering your habits, making deliberate choices, and staying true to the promises you've made to yourself. Consistency is the daily repetition of those disciplined actions, no matter how small they seem. Both are essential if you want to see real transformation. They are the muscle behind the vision you've created. Without them, even the best intentions will fall short. The Stoic way, discipline and consistency is freedom. The Stoics had a unique perspective on discipline. They didn't view it as something burdensome or restrictive, they saw it as a path to true freedom. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control, said Epictetus. When you cultivate discipline, you gain control over your actions, your mind, and your reactions to the world around you. You become the master of your own life, and that is the greatest freedom you can have. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, emphasized the power of small, consistent actions. What we do now echoes in eternity, he wrote. Your daily habits, your small choices, create the person you're becoming. Every disciplined action you take today builds the foundation for your tomorrow. The key is not in making huge, dramatic changes all at once, but in making small, consistent choices every single day. Why discipline and consistency matter? Think about it. You can have the best vision for your life, the most inspiring purpose, but if you don't show up every day and put in the work, nothing changes. The difference between those who transform their lives and those who don't isn't some magical talent or ability, it's simply their ability to stick to the process. Discipline makes sure you show up. It's the commitment to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is the practice of doing it every day. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep going. It's the compound effect of small, focused actions over time that leads to massive results. The Stoics would argue that what we do each day is our life. Every action, no matter how small, counts. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, Marcus Aurelius said. In other words, even obstacles, like your own procrastination, distractions, or tough emotions, can become part of the journey if you remain disciplined and consistent. They're just part of the process. How to cultivate discipline and consistency. Now that you know why discipline and consistency are essential, let's talk about how you can build them. It's time to turn your vision and purpose into daily actions that lead to real transformation. Start with small, manageable habits. If you try to overhaul your entire life in one go, you'll likely burn out fast. Instead, focus on building small, manageable habits that align with your vision. Want to improve your health? Start by committing to a 5-minute workout each morning. Want to read more? Dedicate 10 minutes a day to reading. These small actions might seem insignificant, but over time, they add up. Exercise. Pick one small habit you want to build today. Write it down and commit to doing it every day for the next week. Whether it's meditating for 5 minutes or drinking more water, just start small. Focus on process, not results. The Stoics didn't obsess over results. They focused on doing what was in their control, their actions. Let go of the need for instant success. If you're writing a book, don't focus on the end product right now. Just focus on writing 500 words today. If you're working on your fitness, focus on the workout itself, not how much weight you've lost. When you concentrate on the process, the results naturally follow. Exercise. Every morning, set one intention for the day. It could be as simple as, today, I'll focus on putting in the work, not worrying about how fast I'll see progress. Remind yourself throughout the day. Create a routine and stick to it. Discipline thrives in a structured environment. Without a routine, it's easy to fall into procrastination or distraction. Plan your day in advance, and build habits that support your vision. You don't need to create a rigid schedule, but consistency in your daily actions will lead to lasting change. Exercise. Tonight, plan your day for tomorrow. What's the first thing you'll do when you wake up? When will you work on your goals? Block out time for your most important actions. Embrace discomfort. If you're going to stick to your goals, you have to accept that it won't always be easy. Discipline requires you to step outside of your comfort zone and keep going even when you don't feel like it. The Stoics knew this. Don't seek the good in external things, Seneca said, but in your own actions. The discomfort you feel is part of the growth process. When you face it, you become stronger. Exercise. When discomfort arises, don't shy away from it. Instead, remind yourself, this is how I grow. Push through those moments. Your future self will thank you. Track your progress. The more you track your progress, the more motivated you'll become. Keep a journal or log of your daily actions. Reflect on how far you've come. It's not about perfection, it's about improvement. The Stoics often wrote in journals to hold themselves accountable and keep their minds focused on their purpose. Exercise. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to review what you did. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Acknowledge any challenges, and plan how to face them tomorrow. The power of discipline and consistency. Discipline and consistency are not just about getting things done, they're about becoming the person who can achieve what they set out to do. These qualities shape your character. They transform your mindset. As you practice them daily, you start to notice that the things that once seemed impossible are now within reach. The Stoic philosophers weren't just about empty wisdom, they were about action. They knew that the smallest, most consistent actions were the ones that changed lives. And now, you have that same power. So, as you move forward in your reinvention, remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing something every single day, and doing it with purpose and commitment. You've got this. Keep showing up, and let discipline and consistency lead you to the life you've always wanted. Prioritize meaningful habits. Imagine this, you wake up tomorrow, and you have the power to change the course of your day, your week, your entire life. The key? Habits. What you do consistently, day in and day out, shapes the life you're living right now. But here's the thing, not all habits are created equal. To truly reinvent yourself, you need to prioritize the habits that will move you forward, not the ones that hold you back. And the best part? You have the power to choose which ones to keep and which ones to leave behind. The power of meaningful habits. Let's start by breaking down what meaningful habits really means. You're not looking for temporary fixes or distractions, you're after habits that align with your bigger goals. These are the routines that elevate you, that help you grow, and that set you on the path to your best self. Think of them as the daily rituals that lead to long-term success and happiness. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher who knew a thing or two about personal discipline, said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What he meant was that your daily actions shape who you become. Every habit you build is a reflection of your mindset and your desires. If you want to reinvent yourself, you need to ensure that your habits match the person you want to be, not the person you've been. Start with clarity. What truly matters to you? The first step in prioritizing meaningful habits is clarity. You have to ask yourself, what truly matters to you? What are you working towards? If you don't know where you're headed, how can you choose the right habits to get there? This is the time to reflect deeply. Take a moment to understand your bigger vision. Your goal might be to build a successful business, achieve physical fitness, cultivate mental clarity, or something else entirely. But whatever it is, identify it clearly. Once you know what you want, ask yourself, what daily habits will get me closer to that goal? For example, if building your business is your primary focus, then habits like reading business books, learning new skills, or networking might top your list. If fitness is your goal, then daily movement, nutritious eating, and rest will be the cornerstones of your new routine. Stop spinning your wheels, let go of time wasters. Now that you've identified what truly matters, it's time to take a hard look at the habits that don't serve you. Be honest, are there things in your routine that drain your energy or waste your time? It's so easy to get caught in the cycle of mindlessly scrolling through social media, binge-watching shows, or doing things that simply don't move the needle forward in your life. And don't get me wrong, everyone needs a bit of downtime. But if those habits are taking up too much of your day, it's time to reassess. The Stoics were masters of this kind of self-awareness. Epictetus wisely said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." If you're serious about reinventing yourself, you've got to live by the principles you claim to believe in. It's not enough to talk about your goals, you need to take action and be intentional with your time. Reevaluate your daily routines, remove the distractions, and focus your energy on what truly counts. Focus on small, sustainable changes. Here's where a lot of people go wrong. They try to overhaul everything at once. They set unrealistic expectations for themselves, and when they inevitably fall short, they get discouraged and give up. You don't need to make drastic changes overnight. Instead, focus on small, sustainable habits that you can stick with over the long term. Start with one habit that will make a real difference. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier each day to meditate or exercise. Maybe it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for every night before bed. It doesn't matter how small the change seems. What matters is that it's consistent and meaningful. As Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "Time is the most valuable thing a man can spend." So, be wise with how you spend it. Focus on small wins that you can build upon, and over time, these small actions will add up to something big. Track your progress, measure your growth. You won't know if your new habits are working unless you measure your progress. Keep track of how you're doing, even if it's in small ways. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on your habits. Are they moving you closer to your goals? Are you feeling more aligned with your vision? Don't be afraid to make adjustments along the way. You can keep a simple habit journal, a tracker on your phone, or even set weekly reviews to check in on your progress. Reflect on what's working, and make sure you're not slipping back into old, unproductive routines. Be your own coach. Remember, the Stoics believed in self-reflection as a tool for growth. By regularly assessing your habits, you ensure that you're always moving forward. Build accountability, surround yourself with support. Accountability is key when it comes to building meaningful habits. While you can rely on your inner discipline, having others around you can give you an extra boost. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a support group, Find someone to share your journey with. When you commit to a new habit publicly, you make yourself more accountable, which can increase your chances of success. As Epictetus said, if you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire. The desire to change can be powerful, but it's the consistency and accountability that will lead to lasting transformation. Consistency is key. Commit to the long game. The last thing to remember when it comes to prioritizing meaningful habits is this: consistency is everything. Building new habits takes time. But the more consistent you are, the more you'll see your life transform. Don't expect instant results, but trust in the process. Every small step you take is part of the bigger picture. By focusing on the habits that align with your goals, letting go of distractions, and tracking your progress, you'll begin to see a shift. Your new habits will not only transform your routine, they'll transform your entire mindset and life. As you move forward, keep this in mind: what we do now echoes in eternity, as Marcus Aurelius once said. The habits you build today will shape your tomorrow. So, commit to meaningful habits, embrace the process, and watch yourself transform over time. Your future self will thank you. Embrace discomfort as growth. If you're serious about transforming your life in just 7 days, there's one fundamental truth you need to accept right now: growth is uncomfortable. Sounds tough, doesn't it? But it's exactly what you need to hear. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you're creating the space for something new to emerge. You're stretching the boundaries of who you are, and with that comes the opportunity for reinvention. Here's the thing: growth isn't meant to feel good all the time. It's like lifting weights. You don't get stronger by staying comfortable with the same easy routine. No, it's the struggle, the challenge, the pushing against your limits that makes you stronger. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, the things that we love tell us what we are. So, if you love growth, you have to love discomfort too. It's part of the same journey. But here's where it gets interesting: once you start embracing discomfort, once you choose to face the hard stuff head-on, you'll begin to realize something profound. That discomfort? It's not a signal to turn back. It's a signal to keep going. It's a sign that you're actually moving in the right direction. Why you need to embrace discomfort? Discomfort is the birthplace of progress. You can't expect to change your life if you're always sticking to what's familiar and easy. To reinvent yourself, you've got to step into the unknown. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Epictetus, another Stoic sage, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When discomfort arises, and it will, you have a choice: shrink away from it or lean into it and use it as fuel for your transformation. Think about it for a moment. When you push yourself past your limits, when you take on challenges that seem daunting, what happens? You learn. You grow. You get stronger. You develop resilience. Every moment of discomfort holds within it the seeds of a more powerful version of yourself. And here's a powerful reminder: discomfort doesn't last forever. The more you practice embracing it, the easier it gets. That feeling of resistance starts to lose its grip on you. Instead of running from it, you begin to move through it, learning to use that energy for growth. The Stoic approach to discomfort. The Stoics didn't shy away from hardship, they leaned into it. Their philosophy was rooted in the idea that the best way to grow was by practicing endurance and resilience in the face of adversity. They knew that external circumstances, whether it's pain, rejection, or failure, are beyond our control, but how we respond to them is always within our power. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and Roman emperors, wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the very thing you perceive as blocking your progress is actually the thing that will push you forward. That fear, that challenge, that discomfort isn't a wall to stop you, it's a door waiting to be opened. Every time you face discomfort with the intention of learning and growing, you become more resilient. You develop a mindset that seeks challenges, that welcomes difficulty because you know it's what strengthens your character. The discomfort stops being something you fear and starts being something you embrace as part of your growth. How to embrace discomfort in practical ways. Now that you understand why discomfort is necessary for growth, let's talk about how you can begin to embrace it in your life. Here are some practical steps you can take to start leaning into discomfort and using it as a tool for transformation. Start with small challenges. You don't have to take on huge, overwhelming discomfort right out of the gate. Start small. Pick something that feels just outside your comfort zone, something that stretches you without breaking you. Whether it's making a tough phone call, doing a workout that pushes your limits, or having a difficult conversation, begin by making a habit of choosing the uncomfortable. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Shift your mindset. When discomfort arises, don't automatically label it as bad or something to avoid. Instead, recognize it for what it is, an opportunity for growth. The next time you feel uncomfortable, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this, or how can this challenge help me grow? By shifting your mindset, you transform discomfort from something to fear into something to embrace. Practice delayed gratification. Growth often requires delayed rewards. If you want to transform your life, you have to be willing to endure temporary discomfort for long-term gain. This could mean putting in the hard work now to build a business or making sacrifices today for your health and fitness tomorrow. By practicing delayed gratification, you build discipline and strengthen your ability to endure discomfort with purpose. Focus on the process, not the outcome. When you focus solely on the end result, discomfort can feel like a roadblock. But when you focus on the process, the daily actions, the small wins, and the lessons learned along the way, the discomfort becomes a part of the journey. Embrace each step, no matter how uncomfortable, because that's where the growth happens. Use self-reflection to guide you. After you've faced a challenge or discomfort, take time to reflect on it. What did you learn? How did you respond? What could you do better next time? Self-reflection is a powerful tool that helps you understand how you're growing, what's working, and where you can improve. It also helps you build resilience and prepare for future discomforts. Final thoughts: your growth is waiting. Embrace discomfort as your ally. When you feel that resistance, that urge to back down, remind yourself that you're on the verge of something powerful. Your growth is waiting on the other side of that discomfort. By leaning into the struggle, you're not only becoming stronger physically or mentally, but you're also developing the inner resilience necessary for long-lasting transformation. Remember the Stoic wisdom, the obstacle is the way. So the next time you face discomfort, don't shy away from it. Step forward. Face it head-on. This is your chance to grow, and your future self will thank you for it. Adopt a Stoic mindset. If you want to reinvent yourself in the next 7 days, there's one shift that will make all the difference: a change in how you think. It's time to adopt a Stoic mindset. This isn't about some distant philosophy or lofty ideals, it's about practical tools and wisdom that you can use every single day to transform your life. The Stoics knew something we often forget: our thoughts shape our reality. The world around us may be chaotic, but how we respond to it is entirely in our control. Adopting a Stoic mindset means taking control of your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, and, most importantly, your reactions. By doing this, you create the life you desire, regardless of the external circumstances. You become the master of your own fate. What is a Stoic mindset, anyway? At its core, the Stoic mindset is about focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. It's about accepting that life will throw challenges your way. This is inevitable. But, instead of being overwhelmed or knocked down by those challenges, you use them as opportunities for growth. You change how you approach every obstacle, how you see every setback. In a world that loves drama and chaos, Stoicism offers you peace. It's a mindset that frees you from unnecessary suffering, frustration, and regret. Things are not bad in themselves, but our opinions about things are, said Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. When you adopt a Stoic mindset, you stop seeing the world as something that happens to you, and instead see it as something you respond to. You begin to recognize that your reactions, your anger, your frustration, your sadness, are not determined by external events, but by the way you choose to think about those events. Why should you care? Life is unpredictable, and while you can't control what happens to you, you can control how you respond. By adopting a Stoic mindset, you create inner peace, resilience, and focus. Imagine being in the middle of a difficult situation, and instead of getting overwhelmed, angry, or lost, you simply choose to remain calm and act with purpose. This mindset isn't just for philosophers or monks. This is something you can use every day to build the life you want. Think of it as a superpower. When you start focusing only on what's within your control, everything changes. The drama in your life will lessen. You'll stop stressing over things that don't matter and start focusing on what truly moves the needle in your life. How do you actually adopt a Stoic mindset? It's one thing to talk about Stoicism, but it's another to put it into practice. Here's how you can start applying these principles today, yes, right now, in your life. Focus on what you can control. This is the cornerstone of Stoicism. We spend so much time and energy trying to control things that are outside of our reach, other people, the weather, the future. But the Stoics teach us that true power lies in focusing on what's within our control, our own actions, thoughts, and responses. Exercise. Take a moment and ask yourself, what's one thing I'm stressing about right now that I can't control? Let it go. Then, focus on what you can control. Is it your attitude? Your behavior? Your reaction? This is your power. Embrace it. Accept reality as it is. The Stoics didn't believe in denying the difficulties of life. They accepted that pain, failure, and setbacks were part of the journey. What they did believe was that you could choose how to interpret and respond to those challenges. Instead of complaining about obstacles, the Stoics saw them as opportunities to practice virtue, strength, and patience. Exercise. The next time something goes wrong, ask yourself, how can I use this as an opportunity to grow? Instead of getting frustrated, see the situation as a chance to build your inner strength. What is this challenge teaching you? Practice daily reflection. The Stoics were big fans of journaling. They'd reflect daily on their actions, their thoughts, and their emotional responses to the events of the day. This isn't about self-criticism, it's about learning and improving. Exercise. Tonight, spend 5 minutes writing in a journal. Reflect on your day. What went well? What didn't? How did you react to challenges? Were there moments where you could have responded differently? This practice will help you build awareness and begin to change your thought patterns. Control your desires. The Stoics believe that we often suffer because we attach ourselves too strongly to external things, money, status, approval. When these things are taken away or threatened, we feel anxiety and frustration. Instead, they taught that true happiness comes from within. By reducing your desires and focusing on internal growth, you free yourself from the constant need for external validation. Exercise. Take a moment to examine your desires. Are there things you feel you need in order to be happy? Challenge yourself to let go of at least one of them. Focus on what you already have, and learn to find contentment in the present moment. Practice virtue above all. For the Stoics, virtue, living in alignment with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline, was the ultimate goal. Everything else, they believed, was secondary. If you act with integrity, even in the face of hardship, you build a life of lasting value. Exercise. Think about one area of your life where you can improve your virtue today. Is it showing more patience? Acting with more courage? Being more disciplined in your actions? Pick one virtue to work on and commit to living it out in the next 24 hours. The power of a Stoic mindset. Adopting a Stoic mindset isn't about pretending everything is fine or ignoring your feelings. It's about recognizing that you have the power to choose your response to whatever life throws your way. When you focus on what's within your control and let go of the rest, you experience a freedom and peace that can't be found anywhere else. As Epictetus wisely put it, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When you reduce your dependency on external outcomes and focus instead on your own actions and responses, you reclaim your power. You don't just react to life, you shape it. So, today, make the decision to adopt a Stoic mindset. Start by focusing on what you can control, accepting reality as it is, and cultivating inner peace. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to practice Stoicism and become the best version of yourself. Embrace it, and let this mindset transform not only the next 7 days, but your entire life. Maintain momentum through small wins. Alright, you've got your vision. You've started taking action. But here's the thing, the hardest part isn't getting started, it's keeping that momentum going. You've probably felt that rush of excitement when you first begin a new goal or habit. But over time, the initial energy fades, and the grind sets in. That's when most people give up. But you're different. You're committed to reinvention, and you're going to maintain that momentum through small wins. Why small wins matter? You may be thinking, what's the point of celebrating tiny victories? Let me tell you, small wins are the fuel that keeps your fire burning. It's easy to look at big goals and get overwhelmed. It can feel like you're climbing a mountain that never ends. But here's the truth, you don't need to scale the whole mountain at once. You just need to take one step at a time, and with each step, you'll build the confidence and momentum to keep going. The Stoics understood the power of small, consistent efforts. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every little obstacle you face is actually an opportunity for growth. Every small win, no matter how insignificant it seems, is a step forward on the path to becoming who you're meant to be. How small wins build momentum. Small wins don't just give you a sense of accomplishment, they also shift your mindset. When you start seeing results, even if they're tiny, you begin to believe that progress is possible. You start to see that your efforts are adding up. This is how momentum is built. Here's the thing, if you focus only on the big, distant goal, it's easy to get discouraged. That's why small wins are essential. They give you something tangible to celebrate now, not just someday. This is crucial because the more you win, the more motivated you'll feel to keep going. Momentum builds on itself, like a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering strength and speed as it goes. The power of consistency. Consistency is what turns small actions into big results. It's not about doing something massive every day, it's about showing up, no matter how small the action might seem. The Stoic philosophers emphasized the importance of consistency in daily practice. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." In other words, the actions you take every single day are a reflection of who you want to become. That's the secret. You don't have to move mountains every day. Instead, show up consistently, and you'll find that even the smallest actions begin to snowball into something much greater. How to create and celebrate small wins. So, how do you maintain momentum through small wins? First, make sure your goals are broken down into manageable, bite-sized pieces. Instead of aiming to lose weight or become successful, set specific, achievable goals that are within your control each day. If your goal is to get fit, A small win could be completing a 10-minute workout each day. If you're trying to build a business, it could be writing one paragraph of content or making one new connection. Once you've set your small, daily goals, it's important to celebrate them. I'm not talking about throwing a party or treating yourself to something extravagant. Celebrating a small win could be as simple as acknowledging your progress or feeling proud of your consistency. Take a moment to reflect and recognize that you've made progress. This simple act of acknowledgement reinforces the habit and boosts your motivation. Think about it. When you stop to celebrate those small victories, you're conditioning your mind to associate progress with positive emotions. The more you do this, the more you'll want to repeat the action. It's the law of momentum in action. Overcoming setbacks with small wins. No journey is without its setbacks, and there will be days when you feel like giving up. But here's the Stoic perspective: setbacks aren't failures, they're opportunities. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it, said Epictetus. This means that when things don't go as planned, you have a chance to rise above. This is where small wins really shine. When setbacks happen, focus on the next small step. Don't dwell on the missteps. Instead, look for a small win to get back on track. It could be as simple as doing one productive task, even if it's just for 5 minutes. That small win will reignite your momentum and keep you moving forward. Create a small win checklist. Here's a practical exercise to put this into motion. Create a small win checklist. Each day, write down 1 or 2 small actions that you will accomplish. These are easy to achieve tasks that are in line with your larger goals. Whether it's making a phone call, reading for 15 minutes, or writing a quick email, these small tasks will give you the sense of accomplishment you need to keep going. At the end of the day, take a moment to check them off and celebrate. Feel the satisfaction of having completed something meaningful. This checklist is your daily reminder that you are always making progress, no matter how small. Build a habit of reflection. Another powerful tool to keep momentum going is reflection. Each week, take a moment to look back at your small wins. What went well? What could you improve? The Stoics were big on self-reflection, and this practice will help you understand where you're succeeding and where you can adjust. Reflecting doesn't just mean thinking about your progress, it's about acknowledging your growth and learning from any challenges. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, said Marcus Aurelius. By reflecting on your small wins, you're learning what works, what doesn't, and most importantly, you're reaffirming that the process itself is worth it. The bottom line, keep moving forward. You're in this for the long haul. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. The key to long-term success is maintaining momentum, and that comes through celebrating the small wins. As you continue, you'll notice that these small actions compound, leading to massive change over time. So, keep going. Celebrate each small step. Build that momentum. You've got this. As Seneca said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Don't waste another minute. Focus on those small wins, and watch how they add up to a transformed life. Focus on gratitude and service. If you want to reinvent yourself and transform your life in just 7 days, there's a power within your grasp that you might be overlooking: gratitude and service. These 2 elements, when practiced consistently, have the potential to completely shift your mindset and set you on a path to lasting change. Now, you might be thinking, I've heard about gratitude before, or service is something I know I should do, but I'm so busy with my own goals. But here's the truth: gratitude and service aren't just nice things to do, they are essential for growth. And when you focus on these 2 things, everything changes. Your attitude shifts. Your actions align with your higher purpose. You become someone who not only grows but helps others grow along the way. The Stoics understood this well. They didn't just focus on personal growth in isolation. They saw the bigger picture. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." That's gratitude in its purest form. A deep recognition that, despite all the chaos and challenges life throws at you, you have the opportunity to make a difference, both for yourself and for others. Why gratitude matters. Gratitude isn't just about counting your blessings or saying thank you when someone does something nice for you. It's a mindset shift. It's about recognizing, every single day, that you have more than enough opportunities, enough strength, enough love, enough purpose. Gratitude opens your eyes to what you already have, which, paradoxically, makes you more motivated to take action toward what you want. Here's the kicker: when you cultivate gratitude, you stop focusing on what you lack. You stop thinking, "I'll be happy when I have more money," or "I'll feel fulfilled when I hit this milestone." Instead, you begin to find joy in the present moment. This is huge. When you're grateful, you're less likely to get caught up in the stress of your goals. You'll begin to feel more grounded, more present, and more at peace with who you are right now, while still striving for growth. Epictetus, another Stoic, said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Gratitude helps you focus on the wealth you already possess. It teaches you that happiness and fulfillment don't come from having more, but from appreciating what's already in front of you. The transformative power of service. When you combine gratitude with service, you tap into something even more powerful, a sense of purpose. You see, serving others isn't just about helping them, it's about helping yourself, too. It's about shifting your focus from what you don't have to what you can give. And this shift is absolutely essential for your reinvention. Service doesn't have to mean grand gestures. It can be as simple as holding the door open for someone, taking a moment to listen to a friend who's struggling, or doing something kind for a stranger without expecting anything in return. When you give of yourself, whether that's your time, energy, or skills, you begin to expand your sense of self. You stop thinking of life as a solo journey and start seeing it as a shared experience, where you contribute to the well-being of others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us in Meditations that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In other words, when you choose to serve, you rise above negativity. Instead of getting caught up in resentment, jealousy, or frustration, you focus on something bigger, on making a positive impact in the lives of others. How to practice gratitude and service every day. You might be wondering, how do I actually incorporate gratitude and service into my daily life? It's simple, but it takes consistency and a little effort. Here are some practical ways to start today. Begin each day with gratitude before you dive into your tasks. Take a moment each morning to reflect on what you're grateful for. It can be the small things: a roof over your head, the ability to breathe, a new day to improve yourself. The more specific you are, the better. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for right now? Write it down in a journal or say it out loud. This simple practice will shift your mindset from lack to abundance, setting the tone for the rest of your day. Set intentions for service every morning. Set an intention to serve in some way. This doesn't have to be a big, dramatic act. It could be as simple as helping a colleague with a task, offering advice to someone in need, or sending a thoughtful message to a friend. The key is to serve without expectation. The more you give, the more you'll realize that the act of serving is just as rewarding, if not more, than receiving. Gratitude journaling. Make it a habit to write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. But go deeper than surface-level gratitude. Ask yourself, why am I grateful for this? How does it improve my life? The more you reflect on these moments, the more they'll become ingrained in your mindset. Over time, you'll find that gratitude becomes a natural part of your thought process. Look for opportunities to serve. Keep an eye out for opportunities to help others. They don't have to be monumental, just daily chances to lend a hand, a smile, or a kind word. As you focus on how you can be of service, you'll realize that it not only benefits others but fills you up in ways you never imagined. You become part of a larger story, one that's bigger than your own. End your day with gratitude before you go to bed. Take a moment to reflect on the day. What went well? What did you accomplish? What moments made you feel connected to others? Ending the day with gratitude reinforces the positive energy you've created and helps you sleep with a sense of peace and fulfillment. The reward of gratitude and service. When you focus on gratitude and service, you're not just changing your actions, you're changing your entire approach to life. You begin to see the world through a lens of abundance, not scarcity. You start to focus on what you can give, not just what you can get. And as you do, you'll find that the more you give, the more you receive, not necessarily in material things, but in emotional richness, connection, and purpose. So, if you're ready to transform your life, start here. Focus on gratitude, practice service every day, and watch as your world shifts. You're not just reinventing yourself, you're contributing to a greater, more meaningful life, for yourself and those around you. Reinforce change with accountability. You've taken the first steps toward reinvention, clarifying your vision, setting your purpose, and cultivating discipline. But here's the truth, without accountability, those changes you're so committed to can easily slip through your fingers. It's like setting out on a long road trip without a map. Sure, you know the destination, but without a way to measure your progress, you might end up lost or, worse, give up halfway. Accountability is the glue that holds your transformation together. It's what makes your goals real. It's what keeps you on track when the initial excitement fades and when you hit roadblocks. It's what ensures that, 7 days from now, you're not just thinking about change but actively living it. But here's the catch, accountability isn't just about someone else holding you responsible, it's about creating a system where you hold yourself accountable, where your commitment to change becomes a non-negotiable part of your identity. Why accountability matters. Change is hard. Even when you're determined and motivated, it's easy to slip back into old habits. You'll face moments of weakness, distractions, and even doubt. This is where accountability steps in. It's that constant reminder that you made a commitment to yourself. It's the thing that forces you to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. The Stoics understood this well. They knew that inner strength and self-discipline were crucial to living a virtuous life, but they also recognized that they were only human. Accountability helps you bridge the gap between who you are now and who you want to become. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on his actions and held himself accountable to his own values, reminding himself that his purpose was to live in alignment with wisdom and virtue. You might not be an emperor, but like Marcus, you too can use accountability as a powerful tool to guide your actions and decisions. It's about taking responsibility, not just for your successes but for your challenges and setbacks as well. As Epictetus wisely said, no man is free who is not master of himself. And mastering yourself means being accountable for your growth. How to reinforce change with accountability. Start by setting clear, measurable goals. Without clear goals, accountability is meaningless. Vague intentions like "I want to be better" or "I want to be successful" aren't enough. You need specific, measurable objectives to track your progress. When you define what success looks like, you create a tangible outcome that you can hold yourself to. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve in the next 7 days? Maybe it's exercising a certain number of times, meditating every morning, or reading a set number of pages. Write it down, and make sure it's clear and measurable. This will give you a concrete target to aim for, and you'll have a way to track whether or not you're staying on course. Exercise. Take 5 minutes and write down one clear, measurable goal for the next 7 days. It could be related to your physical health, your mental focus, or a personal project. Break it down into specific steps you'll need to take every day to reach it. Create a system for tracking your progress. Accountability becomes much easier when you have a system in place to track your actions. It's not enough to just say, "I'll work on this every day." You need to keep a log, whether that's through a journal, a digital app, or even a simple checklist. Tracking your progress makes your efforts visible, and when you see how far you've come, it strengthens your resolve to keep going. As Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." When you track your progress, you know exactly where you're headed, and every step becomes a marker on the path to your goal. Exercise. Set up a tracking system for your goal. If it's fitness, track your workouts or meals. If it's learning, track your study time or chapters read. At the end of each day, fill in your progress. This small act of tracking will keep you accountable to yourself. Find someone to hold you accountable, or be your own accountability partner. You don't have to go through this alone. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or even a community, having someone else aware of your goals creates external accountability. When you share your commitments with someone else, it becomes much harder to back out. They're not there to judge you, they're there to cheer you on, to remind you of the commitment you've made, and to encourage you to keep going. But, here's the important part: if you can't find someone to hold you accountable, don't let that stop you. You are more than capable of being your own accountability partner. The Stoics often turned inward to reflect on their actions and correct themselves when necessary. In the same way, you can create a system where you check in with yourself regularly. Exercise. Tell someone you trust about your goal for the next 7 days. Ask them to check in with you regularly and encourage you to stay on track. If you can't find someone, commit to doing a daily self-check. Ask yourself, did I do what I said I would today? If not, what can I do differently tomorrow? Reflect and adjust regularly. Accountability isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. As you work toward your goal, there will be days when you miss the mark. Maybe you don't feel motivated, or something comes up that throws you off course. That's okay. What matters is that you don't give up. Instead, use those moments as opportunities to reflect, adjust, and improve. Accountability is about showing up, even when it's hard. This process of self-reflection is key to Stoic philosophy. Epictetus would advise that we examine our actions daily and ask ourselves how we could have done better. This way, every failure becomes an opportunity to learn and grow. Exercise. Every evening, take a moment to reflect on your progress. Celebrate what you've done well and acknowledge any areas where you fell short. Use this reflection to adjust your approach for the next day. Remind yourself that growth is a process, not an event. Create a reward system and a consequence system. Accountability works even better when you have something to gain and something to lose. Rewards and consequences are powerful tools to reinforce your commitment. When you hit your goals, celebrate your progress, reward yourself with something meaningful. This creates positive reinforcement. But also set consequences for when you fail to meet your goals. This could be something simple, like committing to an extra workout or donating to a cause you don't support. As the Stoic philosopher, Zeno, once said, well-being is attained little by little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself. Every small step toward your goal is important. And sometimes, the fear of a consequence is enough to push you into action when motivation wanes. Exercise. Set up a reward and consequence system for your goal. If you meet your goal, reward yourself with something that feels good. If you don't, set a consequence that challenges you to stay on track. Use these tools to reinforce your commitment. Accountability, the bridge between intentions and action. Accountability isn't just about keeping track of progress, it's about reinforcing your commitment to yourself. It's the act of showing up, day in and day out, and holding yourself responsible for the change you want to create. It's what makes those 7 days of transformation possible, and it's what will keep you on the path long after. So today, take a deep breath. Define your goal. Set up a tracking system. Tell someone about your commitment, or promise yourself that you'll hold yourself accountable. And then, most importantly, show up. Reinforce your change with accountability, and watch how much you can accomplish. Thanks for watching Reinvent Yourself. Transform your life in just 7 days. Remember, change starts with the first step, and every day is a chance to become the best version of yourself. Stay committed to the process, trust in your growth, and keep pushing forward. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from Modern Stoic. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep evolving. I'll see you in the next one.